everyone? It's your favorite FGC VTuber here, joined with.
The greatest hater. I'm here to hate on just about everything you guys know and love. Starting with, I don't know,
You
life.
said I don't know. Yeah. So just because I want. So Battle for the Grid is rumored to probably is. I mean, here's my issue. Like, yeah, I agree. Definitely, the thing is, the launch was very rocky, and then they later patched it and everything. And it's a fine state, but my thing is, like, the problem with Battle for the Grid, in my opinion, why I think the sequel may not. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe might people. It's 50. It's very 50-50. I don't care for getting the second one. I'm happy just with the first. I don't need a second, right? Like, that's genuinely where I'm at, and I think there's a huge both people who don't own it and who are planning on owning it, it's like, don't really have the need or desire. It's kind of like, I think to the fan, it's kind of like a one-off note is planned in a sense. And also, what can you really do in the sequel that would be that different? Like, good example, the Nickelodeon All-Stars game, I feel like the sequel was mad pointless. They should have just added more DLC. And that shit botched even worse than the first one, Like, it had no reason to do that.
I kind of feel like the Nickelodeon All Stars, the reason why that ended up getting botched is mainly because they didn't go full on in the first
Right,
one, and a
exactly.
lot of people kind of just fell off of it. And then the things that people asked for, they put into the second game, and it's like, well, it's kind of already too late, man.
Exactly.
We lost our interest at this point. But like in terms of the Power Rangers game, because we don't know whether or not if it's even going to come out at all. Like it'd
Right.
be fine. I think it'd be great because in all honesty, there's so many different Power Rangers and so many different versions. You don't only have to just use the quote unquote Power Rangers. You can actually use other Sentai characters that like revolve
Ooh.
around
Yeah, you
that
know what? If it
area.
was a different Sentai series, that would make a lot more sense, actually.
Like I wouldn't mind if they started putting more Kamen Rider characters inside of the Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
Dude,
I actually
actually, if they
think
could
it
do that
would
for
be
the
a crazy
sequel,
crossover.
it would justify for getting it, honestly, genuinely. That would
Oh,
justify it. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's up to the people like at the top, like because at the end of the day, it was mildly successful, right? And that's the keyword, mild. And companies these days, at the end of the day, they don't give a shit about mild. They want like success. It is what it is. I mean, the fact that it's up in the air, it's almost a good thing. But well, and then and here's the bigger problem when it comes to especially fighting games, bro, because they're still niche. Like I said, unless my game comes and changes everything, they're just kind of a niche, right, outside of the big three. And it's like it's gonna and for the scene that plays it actively, it's gonna eat them up. It's gonna eat the player base. That's something to think about. Like half will play Battle 1 and Battle 2, or the other half Battle 2. But I mean, I don't know. Like to me, my bigger thing with anything, like I said before, when even releasing something, unless it really totally makes sense, like content or something, like I said offline. I can't stress that enough. It's like, what does the person, like, especially if it's a multiplayer focused game, like you're gonna cannibalize a player base. And the thing about all multiplayer games is they all cockblock each other. We may not realize it, but Apex is eating into fucking Battle for the Grid's player base. We don't even realize it, right? Even if it's that one dude, guess what? That's one dude we don't have. To me, the biggest threat for any super multiplayer game focused is like, should I like no, it's too oversaturated. Unless you have the budget for marketing, and that shit can bank. I'm leaning towards no. I mean, granted, unless there's a game that people want and it's not there, then okay, cool. Again, empty marketplace. This is a demand for it. But the thing is, Battle for the Grid already exists. Whatever. Like, so they have to do something like we said with the Sentai characters. And it's like, okay, then that makes sense because there is no Sentai fighting game in a sense. It's like, all right, cool, you're capitalizing something. And at the end of the day, it's for the fans. The majority of a Battle for the Grid is for the fans. So something like that, the Sentai game would again be for that. A good example, like the Gundam games. Obviously, the average non-Gundam person doesn't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm not playing a single booty water ass Gundam game. But there's a lot of Gundam fans that'll put money. They already put money in the model kits. When there's a pre-existing fan base, like good example, old Star Wars fans. We put so much money for anything. Here's some shitty Star Wars PS1 game. Take my money. That's the thing that why people like having franchises and why they sell so much. Because like it's guaranteed money. Like, the average person, and here's the other thing too, like Battle for the Grid, like even if they make a second one, the average person doesn't even know that game exists. Literally, only like FGC, some people, maybe some gamers. It's more like number one Power Rangers fans and number two FGC people, and then three like everyone else gamer wise, and then normies probably don't even know it exists if they don't know about Power Rangers. But
in all
it's
honesty, because as you were talking about it, I really started to think about like what features would they end up needing to add in order for that game to be like ultra successful. And like to be honest, it's kind of already dead in the water because like
Mhm.
the next big thing I could really think of is like adding a whole storyline from like the original
Mhm.
like Mighty Morphin and like kind
Mhm.
of turning it into like the full blown Battle for the Grid type of deal.
Mhm.
But you can't really do that mainly because Jason David Frank, the guy who played Tommy in the Power Rangers, like he
Yeah.
passed away a few
Mhm.
years ago. So that kind of got thrown out the window.
I
Like you
mean,
could
they
call
could
everyone
always
else,
find a
but it
voice
wouldn't be the
actor.
same.
They could always find a voice actor that has a very similar voice and try to.
Yeah, but you know how fan bases are,
True.
like especially
True.
with like him being the Power Ranger that everyone knows. It's like, man, if not having Tommy inside of like his own character is kind of like not having like Tom Hanks and
Mhm.
Tim Allen playing their characters as Woody and Buzz in Toy Story. Like
True.
it would just feel really off, and you
True.
wouldn't really want it.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, no, I wanted to bring two things. That there was a mini update, but I was like, I guess I will wait because it's all you need to know is that Deadass, both dude, I hate the name. His name is trash. He should just be called the fat guy from Meat Canyon. That's who that is. The fat guy from Meat Canyon. You know, like oh, fat. That like I said, I like him. He's based as fuck. I like the fat guy. Everyone's even saying like, dude, the fact that his profile pic is just him in front of like the Tekken map. You know, that we're gonna call it Tekken. And dude, it's funny how both of them didn't know about the game. Like, Pecora didn't even know the Game Awards was a thing. It's like, wait, I got nominated for something. Everyone says like, dude, I like how everyone's saying fuck the other two. No one knows who they are. But the two that everyone's like, fat guy who's based, VTuber who's based, and it's like even both are like, oh, you know, if the other one wins, it's cool. And even he's like, and he was cooking, he was treating people like when people's like, who's that? It was like, bro, just like he was legit cooking, bro. Like I'll talk about it if Vile gets here. It's like, dude, this is what I want. I unironically want fat guy to win. I'm gonna call him fat guy. His name is trash. I'm sorry. He's based as fuck. I'm like, you know what? You honestly like much like Pewds, like you guys aren't like top tier whatever, but I like you guys in your position because genuinely they seem like good people. I will always respect good people. Like unlike the opposite, you know how they say we have the wrong people are famous. I feel like when it comes to those two, nah, those are the right people that are famous. Like Pewds doing his thing, kid, or whatever. Dude's just saying the basic shit. Like, dude, I know I'm lucky, and he says like, but and dude, I don't know, man. Like I said, if I hopefully get in here and then say with honorable, because like he actually spoke the biggest. Like he's like me, dude. He doesn't give a fuck about the Game Awards. I'm like, I love this man. And like I said, the other one even know they existed. It shows you how irrelevant the Game Awards is, bro. I can't stress that so enough. I'm like, I like how the two they're all content creators, and they're both like, man, your awards suck. Well, I mean, the other one didn't say it. She's nice, and you know, VTuber. She didn't even know you existed. So wow, how relevant you are. Again. It's like, oh, it's so mad. Like, dude, she's probably representing 90% of the Japanese population. You know what? It makes sense because it shows you the Game Awards is stupid. How the fact that it's only in English and they don't bother to put subtitles for other languages, like, yeah, dude, that's pretty omega niche and that's a huge oversight, which goes to show you how self-centered the America is when it comes to even gaming. That they forget, oh my god, other regions exist. Like even when I was thinking in Hololive, I was thinking for some things, I was like, oh right, like I already know I'm gonna translate it Japanese, right? Because clearly there's a Japanese audience. But it didn't occur to me, it's like, oh right, I need like some Japanese voice lines, this and that. And I was like, all right. Again, I actively think of the outside of the little bubble that I am, because I don't think that the world revolves around America. But that again, the fact that again, and she's not stupid. She's a very big VTuber, and she's clearly a gamer. But the fact that again, she doesn't even know what the Game Awards is, and again, she's popular. I'm pretty sure her chat's probably, I guarantee you, at least some people in her chat know about it. But the fact, like, she said, what the fuck is this? I'm not a me for some shit I ain't never heard of. It's like, oh, cool. Carries on with her life. Same with Fat Boy. But yeah. And there was something else that happened. There was an update. I mean, do you know anything? It's funny because we were talking about this shit yesterday, and we got literally an update to both those things. Do you know another one? Any updates of free?
That's honestly a bit wild as fuck. Not gonna lie. But no, something I ended up wanting to bring up because I keep on forgetting that this is even the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we always talk about this game overhype,
Mm-hmm.
and because fact of the matter is it is completely overhyped.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly feel like it's one of the three main games that ended up killing first person shooters in general. It's what is it though? It's called the Overwatch 2 Classic, which
Oh.
basically is them going back to old like Overwatch. They're making the 6v6, the older characters from the first Overwatch game, and the same old maps. So basically making Overwatch 2 100% redundant. It's kind of ridiculous that they're even doing that. And I think I did mention this before, and like I actually bringing up the main reason why they're doing this because they're trying to get enough players to go back to Overwatch before this Marvel game
Ah,
called Overwatch, but Marvel. Like it's absolutely ridiculous that they even hit the panic button and even decided to do that because it shows such blatant disrespect to your fan base that you're kind of just, oh yeah, we'll have this limited time of the thing you guys kept on wanting, but we didn't give it to you because we wanted to monetize you even harder than ever before. Because with the main three things that they wanted to put into the new Overwatch game, they were supposed to put a storyline. They wanted to keep the 5 on 5 competitive. I don't know why they decided to go from 6 to 5. I think it's kind of weird because clearly these maps are made for fucking 6v6. Whatever. And they also wanted to add a new monetization format, which they did. That's honestly all they really added. The monetization format. That's it. Everything else is literally like there's nothing new about this game. For the fact that they even threw a 2 on it is fucking terrible. And I actually know people who moved over to Overwatch 2 and still spent a lot of money just so they can get all these skins on all these different characters. And then it's like, bro, you literally just spent however much money getting loot boxes and shit from the last game. Now you're jumping onto this game and spending a shit ton of money. Like they're literally wasting your time. And as a person who plays shooters throughout the majority of my life, I don't really see the appeal of constantly playing this game and trying to act as if it's a competitive game. It really isn't a competitive game.
I mean,
Like
like,
that,
I
and
mean, for
that's
me,
one of the main reasons why I actually gripe about Overwatch in general because like I get it. It's flashy, it has colors, everything's going around all happy and everything, everyone's hugging, everyone's gay. Like I get it. It's a great looking, appealing game. The only thing
for
that's great about it
kids.
is the fact that it constantly flashes stuff in your face, makes you feel like you're actually doing good, when in reality, it's basically just Call of Duty with a different color font.
No, dude, to me, I feel like it's an insult because, like, dude, Overwatch is not a shooter at all. From what I see, it's like there's only one person with a gun. Everybody else has their, like, dude. Like I said, it's called Homo Watch for a reason. Like you said, oh, it's appealing. This is why I think gambling's stupid. Like I feel like the more easy you are to gamble, you're stupid because it's like, oh my god, like you're literally a toddler. It goes to show you that most people, gamers, and someone even said it too. I think it was maybe Fat Guy again. He was saying like, dude, most of the problem is that most people they're kids. I'm like, dude, that is facts. Like to me, if you're someone who unironically plays Homo Watch, like you're honestly still a kid. You're mentally still a kid. Like, oh, you know, you're fucking Disney, you know, because it's not even a shooter at all. It's like on God, bro. Like outside of like usually, oh, it's gay, this and that. Like in reality, like no, you're still definitely kids. Go, remember how I said the media literacy, like the fact that you sit here and unironically enjoy something that has no satisfaction at all. Like I said, I played it before and that was the worst experience in my life. That's good. Think about that shit, bro. Think about that shit, bro. I've been through some shit. You know, near death, you know, this, that, fucked up, or whatever, tough rest. Playing Overwatch was worse than all of that. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, that shit felt terrible. That felt depressing. I'm like, who plays this? This feels I would actually rather be tortured than play this. This is terrible. You know, it's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know how that shit ever popped. Whatever. That's my whole thing. It's like, I'm glad that it consistently dies. Because people at the end of the day, they'll eventually, you know, you're a kid. You will, like I said, my big brother, even he's mentally challenged. He eventually got bored of reading ABCs. He wanted something better. He wanted ABCs and numbers. Oh, you know, like only terminally ill people. Like it's the same reason why no one takes Nintendo Zelda weirdos or you know just Nintendo because you can only play a rated E game for so fucking long. You're gonna grow up. You're gonna get more mature. If you can't, there's gonna be an issue. You know. Okay, mind you, Overwatch hentai is a whole field of its own. That's an entirely different story, and you ain't never too old to enjoy Overwatch hentai. But that's aside the point.
It's crazy that you're more known for your Rule 34 rather than the actual game itself.
I'm
In
okay with
fact,
that.
I'll even go as far as saying the other thing that they're actually really known for, but again, I
The
don't
loot
really put
boxes.
this on the people who make the games. It's the trailers. Because again, as usual, Blizzard usually makes good trailers for all of their fucking games. They could literally make a trailer of dog shit, just literal dog shit, and just add sprinkles to it. For some reason, it'll just look more amazing than what it actually should be,
Mm.
and that's usually what oversells it. Like,
Well, I mean,
perfect
they've been doing.
example, look
They
at
have
the Diablo
practice.
games.
Just look at World of Warcraft.
Right. World of Warcraft, you got the Diablo series, you got the
Okay,
StarCraft
no,
series.
Diablo
Every
gets a
time
pass
they
because it's
drop a
actually
game,
a good game. That's different. Like World of Warcraft's mid as fuck. Diablo's actually pretty
but
good. They
I
get a
would
pass on
argue
that.
that their trailers are 10 times more hype than the game itself. The game
True.
can be
I'm not
good,
disagreeing
but
with
the
that. True.
trailers go fucking way above and beyond of
Right.
what
True. True.
the
True.
actual game that really is. Like when you see that opening for Diablo 4 and you
Oh
see that
yeah.
shit, you're like, oh fuck, this is actually legit.
Right.
And then
Right.
you start playing the game, it's like, all right, I kind of want to get to the point that I saw in the beginning of the
True.
game.
Right. 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 But here's the difference. Here's the difference. At least Diablo's manly. World of Warcraft is mid, and then just Homo Watch is. I mean, I haven't seen a single Homo Watch, but then at the same time, every time I look, I mean, you know, it's like but it's advertisement. At the end of the day, they know how to advertise. You know, that's really what the gist of it is.
Tracer gets rammed by Mercy and Monkey Man. That's what happens. That's basically the
True.
entire
I
game.
mean, what was I thinking about? I was thinking of that one. Looking at my it says Case. Oh man, his name's terrible because it sounds like Kes. Like someone can't spell Queso.
It's literally the white man saying, "Queso, can I put some queso onto my
He
bowl?
he
I
just needs to
love
be.
that
He just needs to call
queso."
himself based fat guy. I would like that would be a way better.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I actually want to look up on YouTube to see if there's actually someone named Based Fat Guy. Maybe that's the reason why he didn't take it.
Yeah, let's see. Well, the Game Award. You know, I didn't realize. I wanted to say too that they didn't add. That's goes to show you that they really don't care. Again, I don't want to talk about too much because, dude, even in the title of the thumbnail, it just shows that we should watch the real Game Awards, not the new one or the old one. But fucking, they didn't put the Capcom game. You know, with the Amaterasu looking shit. You know, Kunitsu or some shit. I already forgot. You know, what I'm talking about. I did a review about it. I'm talking about the top down strategy hack and slash game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I really said like bro, the fact that they put this is actually criminal. Like this deserves to be like in game of the year. Like, but it's like you know what? Nah, we're not going up that ladder. There's something I don't know. I can't remember what else was there. Maybe I'll remember it, but there was something else that was an update, and I guess I deleted like an idiot. That was kind of important that we talked about it, but we covered most of it. Because I'm done with like who gives a shit about the booty awards. But yeah, like I said,
Why not? I'm really curious about though,
mm,
because if there's one award I really want to see like go a certain way, I really don't want GTA to win most anticipated game.
yeah.
Like out of everything that's actually nominated, one, I'm kind of upset that Pal World wasn't put for
Oh yeah,
like
that
for
there we go.
multiplayer
Thank
and
you.
stuff like
That
that.
that's what it was. It was the fact that
Like
people said, "Wait, well, why is Power not here?" That's very telling. I'm like, "Yep."
yeah, there's certain games that are on there, and then like as the card player, I love playing card games. Balatro does not belong in the game of the year list. I don't care. I don't care how fun it is. I don't care how addictive it is. It like Yu-Gi-Oh can be at the top of its fucking game and be the most incredible version of itself of all time. I'd still never put it for game of the year.
Yeah, no. Like I said, again, Power World deserves all the respect for what it does. But I think one of the reasons, and even
This
if it's
video
got a
was
little indie
shared
dev,
around
why
talking about.
it's got clear issues. Like to me, it has the fundamental like, does it actually work? Well, what's the do you know how is everything the process and does it deliver? I feel like it gets those two out of three of those, but it clearly is not the best functioning game. And at the end of the day, the base of what it is, it's fine. The gameplay is only so deep. You throw ball, catch Pokemon. But it 100% is like it's a not shitty Pokemon, and it again for that reason alone is why it sold so fucking well, and that's why
Yeah,
Nintendo's
for a
believe it.
game that doesn't have an actual story itself, and all you're really doing is just traveling around this world, building your own villages, and like essentially, kidnapping your employees so that they can work in your city. Like the game is relatively fun, and it has like you can have a really good time with your friends, especially if you knock it up to like the survival hard mode and just go absolutely ape shit because a lot of the times you're just gonna get raided and a bunch of crazy shit ensues. It's actually a lot of fun, but like for the fact that they didn't even put it into the list is kind of telling of like what kind of okay guys, we want you to be able to celebrate all of these games that we want you to see. Like okay, I guess we'll throw the games that people really want here. Like I kind of feel like they threw everyone a bone with the Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I
that's what it is.
genuinely don't believe that the panel itself didn't really want the game on there, but they knew because the type of backlash that they would get
Yeah,
that
because
they
like
had to put it
Hogwarts, they
there.
got shit for Hogwarts. Someone even was like, "Oh, that's true," because Hogwarts, and then it's like, okay, you know what? Doesn't like we got
Yeah,
too
they were
much shit
dog
for
shit
that.
for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because no, and the thing is, clearly it wasn't gonna win anyway. Saying I'm calling it, it's not gonna win anyways. But they have to have it there just so people don't bitch. That's really because again, at the end of the day, even they realize, yeah, the gamers are a lot louder than 10 journalists. You know.
Yeah, because we're the ones that are actually going out and spending money. Like we're not sitting there and asking developers to get a free copy of the game so they'll be able to sit there and play it and quote unquote review the game. And all you're really doing is just glazing it half to death in order for you to get the next copy of whatever game you're trying to get from them. Like I it's kind of ridiculous the way how gaming has been like moving from like it's supposed to be like an actual like experience you're really supposed to have, but now it kind of feels like it's over the top bombastic type of like presentation. But then when you get to the game itself, it kind of feels bare bones, which is why I'm a little worried about like the next GTA game. I feel like this game is going to be so extremely overhyped,
It is.
and for sure it's going to be overpriced, and it's going to set a standard for the next like wave of games that are going to be coming in of like instead of every game that's right now the base price of a AAA game is $70. I truly believe it's going to go up to either 90 or $100 because of GTA 6. And their justifiable reason is going to be for oh well people are going to be playing GTA 6 online for at least a decade. Look how long GTA 5 online lasted. See, this is the clear indication that we need to be able to it's going to be a bunch of stupid bullshit, obviously PR bullshit, and I really do feel like that game is going to be underwhelming in
Oh no,
terms of
anyways,
like,
I'm calling it. I mean, dude, like I said, I'm trying to release my rip-off GTA Vice City around the exact same day, hopefully, because they're still gonna be a fars off. Just to be like, I know people are eventually gonna get bored of you and be like, most hardcore games they're gonna get bored. Like, oh, okay, we're gonna see VTubers and like, and even for their online, I give it like, here's the thing about the GTA Online, like they needed updates to keep people coming back, and even then they would only be back like, yeah, sure, oh GTA Online, this and that. Like, do they come more for the person than they come for the game? Like in reality, GTA Online is such a super omega normie thing, and like they got player base this and that, but it's like the first five, like it was the most crazy because of PS3. It got more time because of the PS5, the PS4 version. By the time the PS5 version came, like as far as I know, most people didn't really give a shit. So, and I think about who knows. It's true. It's not gonna be secret that they're definitely gonna focus on the online. I think the actual game itself, people are gonna play whatever. It's gonna have its honeymoon phase, just like Starfield. But I think the thing is, what I am scared of is that at the end of it's gonna be like the reimagining, bro. People are gonna like. It's gonna be okay, but it's definitely gonna be underwhelming. I mean, heck, when you look at 5 compared to 4, that itself is underwhelming. There's so many videos popping. I mean, Crobecat, like, oh, 4 is better than 5. Like, you know what? I agree, actually. But it's gonna be a phenomenon. The fact because there's so much time and we haven't had a new one, like. Sadly, it's gonna be relevant for maybe 1 to 5 years, but we're definitely gonna see strides. Like I said, dude, finally people shut the fuck up about the Booty Water reimagining. And in Silent Hill 4 or 2 remake or reimagining, thank God people shut up about that to a degree. But this and that, it's gonna be the same thing. But I think in the larger name of the gaming community, I think they're not gonna care as much. Because like I said, we live in an age where things just have changed. No one cares about Halo anymore. No one cares about Gears. No one cares about Pokemon. No one cares about GTA. No one cares there's only certain franchises that people really, really care about. It in GTA sadly like okay, well, but it's bringing it's getting back to that line. It's like the Halo Infinite comeback, but it might do better. I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's gonna sell well whether we fucking like it or not. And to me, it's like it gets funny. Same with the reimagining. It's an okay game, but like you said, it's gonna be overhyped. The best I can. I mean, to me, I'm hoping that it is true that they're leaning way too into the woke, so a lot of gamers can just straight up chastise it. Because charging 70 is like, and like you said, new standard. I mean, I don't know. That in itself was a completely different conversation. I won't go into that whole GTA thing. But yeah, no, FGC, like I said, I haven't even seen right now. Even Max is like, why the fuck is multiverse? No, but anyways, yeah, that multiverses got in twice. Like, wait, they were in last year for Best Fight. Like, bro, well, how are they in again? Like, the hell?
It's funny. I completely like that flew over my head completely because
Streamer.
I forgot that multiverses like had their beta phase and that was actually going on for a while, and it was happening long enough for it to be put on the Game of the Year list last year. Just because like there was, I mean, what did you have last year? You had Street Fighter, you had Mortal Kombat, which they were going to be one of the two games that were going to win, and then everything else is essentially bullshit. So
Yeah.
I kind of felt yeah, yeah. Let's be honest. Like everything else is just fucking bullshit. Like you come out in the same year of Mortal Kombat, which that's like the quintessential normie game that a lot of people will want to play at least for the first week, and then Street Fighter, which is the ultimate fucking fighting game that's gonna last 1,000 fucking years, simply just because the appeal of the game itself lasts a long fucking time. There's still people fucking playing fucking Hyper Street Fighter 2 Championship Ultimate Edition that came out in fucking 1995.
I mean,
But
small
like,
amount, but
and they're all older than me.
yeah.
Anyway.
You know what I just realized? Too? I'm looking at the streamer awards because apparently Sage and Punk were nominated. It's like, wait. First of all, Punk shouldn't even be there. Smug should be there, and also Sage and Smug are content. Look, this is what I'm talking about. I don't know, like, bro, they should be in content creator, and Mr. Fat Guy and Pecora should be in streamer. Like, dude, this is I think I think they do this on purpose. They want to get people tight so they can watch, bro. That's exactly what it is. It's like, hey man, let's get them mixed up. That'll get their balls twisted. Let's put the streamers in content and content in streamers. It's like fucking
Annoying. Imagine being a streamer and then someone calls you a content creator. Like I'm not creating content the way how like an actual YouTuber would do it. Like
exactly.
I'm not like I'm not fucking Maximilian dude who actually makes like YouTube videos and
Hmm.
shit and like has fun with his shit versus like somebody who literally just turns on a fucking stream and just sits there
Exactly.
and streams and does his own little thing just mainly on that stream, doesn't do any editing or anything, just
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
live. Everything is live. That is a streamer. And then there's content creators. I don't know why the hell or who the hell got this idea that like, oh yeah, this is the same thing, guys. Aren't content creators streamers as well? Like, no. Last I fucking checked, like most content creators really don't go out of their way to fucking stream because they make most of their revenue off of the editing and everything that they do, like the hard work that they put into their video, and then they actually distribute it either through fucking YouTube or Kick, wherever the fuck. Well, not Kick. Well, what was the other one? Rumble, which is basically right wing YouTube.
Right.
Fucking like wherever they go and get their money, that's how they fucking get their content and shit. Like you can't put those in the same fucking position because that's not how that shit goes. And I would feel insulted as one or the other.
Exactly.
Like if I was mainly a streamer and I got called a content creator, I'd be fucking offended. And if I'm a content creator and someone called me a streamer, I punch him in the fucking face in real life.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I actually do both. Haha. And then someone who does both, like, dude, making YouTube videos is way harder. It's not a contest. There are actual streamers who even know that. Yeah, no, bro. Again, dude, a lot of streamers I say like, yeah, no, dude, I stream because making YouTube videos is way harder, and that's why they, dude, fucking, what's his face? It's always glazing me. He's like, dude, he actually makes content. Do you have any idea how rare that is for streamers to actually make videos? And he's like, and they're good. He actually makes like good. Like, yep. Like, I was like, he's got a good point. And it's funny because I came from making content to streaming, and it's funny those people tend to be more successful too because they like streamers going to content creator, like they don't understand, like, dude, that's a lot. And the thing is, if you when again, part of the reason too why they don't stream too much, like, dude, it takes a lot of time. Like I said before, it takes sometimes an entire day to make some of these videos, dude, and you're too tired to want to fucking stream. Like, fuck that. I'm just gonna go to sleep. And they don't realize that. And the thing is, that if you go from streaming to content, well, guess what? Now you're not streaming. You're not making revenue, and you have to bank. And guess what? Your first videos are gonna be trash. You don't know how to edit yet. Like, I think it's a lot easier going from content to streamer than streamer to content. And that's why 9 times out of 10 from when I seen they hire people to do it for them. And the problem is that they'll just, oh, let's just put VODs, let's put, and it's like that works if you're a VTuber. It doesn't work if you're anybody else. It just does not. Like, you need actual content, and then you realize that the content game is been around way longer, and there's much better competition. And the thing is, like, dude, there are people who make videos better than you probably ever will, and that's your competition. Especially you don't have a niche or something to do. I mean, I'm surprised some of the Japan FGC's been killing it. And my tutorial stuff, thank God, like it all depends on your market. It's a motherfucker. Man, I feel like there's something else. I don't remember, but isn't there something? I remember. Is there something other subject you wanted to bring up? Speaking of,
Uh, you know what? Kind of teetering off of the conversation that we were having about GTA,
Mhm,
and you kind of brought up like there's a video about someone saying that GTA 4 is better than GTA 5.
mhm, mhm.
I kind of want to touch base on that idea because I I kind of been in a kind of a crossroads when it comes to like gaming itself. Like thinking about like okay, like 15 years ago, like what games were I playing versus like the games
Ah,
that I'm
the
playing now.
nostalgia versus fact thing you
And
posted. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's a good
yeah,
choice.
that's how
Yeah,
we
for,
can start moving into. And the thing that I find interesting about this conversation is that like you can go in a bunch of different ways on this, but like even breaking it down categorically, like okay, fine, here's the year 2008. Here are all the games that came out in the year 2008. And then here's 2018. Here are all the games that came out in 2018. And then here are the games that are currently out now this entire year. Since let's be honest, we're at the end of the year. No real big games going to come out right now unless you're like a giant fucking Indiana Jones person, which I'm not.
no one cares,
But if you're not,
dude. No.
basically every
Actually,
game has already come out.
let me talk shit about Indiana, so then we'll go back. Indiana Jones is the most lame mid ass shit on earth. Actor, dude, who you're a little bitch. Like, my problem is, like, dude, Star Wars is way more important jet ass than gay ass Indiana Jones, and the main act, I forget his name, whatever. Cool dude, I agree with his whole
Harrison
flying
Ford.
thing, but he's such a bitch, bro. He's like, oh, I don't care about Star Wars, oh, but I care about Indiana Jones. Like, dude, you're such a weirdo. Like, Indiana Jones ain't shit. Who gives a fuck? Like, he got booty hurt because someone was gonna take his role, and he personally called him like, oh, you don't know how important this was. Like, dude, no one gives a shit about Indiana Jones, bro.
It is. I'll tell you exactly what it is because I'm actually
He's a normie,
Indiana.
dude. He's like, oh, I don't care about sci-fi. I'm a
Like,
little
not
bitch.
Indiana Jones fan. I'm a Harrison Ford fan because I do like him as Han Solo in Star Wars and
I
shit
do
like
too, but
that.
he's a bitch.
I do like the fact that he played the president in a movie called Air Force One, and had his famous words that he told to Gary Oldman, "Get off my plane," before he like broke his neck and like threw him out with the parachute and shit. That was what that
Broke
happened.
his
Like,
neck.
yeah. But going into the idea that he loves the character Indiana Jones so much, the main reason why because he feels like that was the character that really brought him to be like the breakout star that he ended up becoming, and during his tenure as an actor, at least during his like heyday. um Indiana Jones holds a personal place in his heart mainly because like it kind of reminded him of like old shows where like a person will go and like he'll be digging up like old artifacts and like trying to keep them reserved in that so then we be able to keep history and shit. That's basically Indiana Jones. Like he really loves Indiana Jones that fucking
Like,
hard.
to me, like
Where
to
it's
me,
like
here's my bigger problem. Like, I get it, like, whatever. Like, to me, the problem is that how he's gonna diss Star Wars, but not Indiana. When in reality, everyone with that same argument, it's like, dude, you wouldn't be where you're at without Star Wars. That's like cap, far more than
I'm not
Indiana
gonna
Jones.
lie. To be fair, and I'll actually say this because of me being a huge Star Wars fan. I too would shit on the Star Wars franchise because mainly the fans are fucking harsh as shit.
That's
Like
true. I'm
Star
not
Wars
denying that.
fans are literally the worst type of fucking critics when it comes to Star Wars.
That is true. I
We're
mean, I hated the
so
prequels,
we're
and I love the
so fucking
prequels.
traumatized. We're all broke up into different factions. We have the OG series, you have the prequel series, and then you have the fucking newbies who like the sequel. Those
Ew,
guys are fucking Nazis. We don't talk about them.
that's facts.
Um,
Like, bro, they were so bad that the prequel and sequel dudes made up. And you know what? No, prequels weren't that bad. Damn straight. Like, they made up to that point. They ended a war, bro. Like, that's impressive. That's
Yeah,
impressive.
for the fact that like, and me growing up during that time, I actually enjoyed it because like me being young and watching Yoda flip around, I didn't really think fucking crazy about it. I was like, oh shit, Yoda used to use lightsabers. That's fucking crazy. But
Right?
like over time, like I grew to understand like, okay, why that shit wouldn't really make sense. But regardless, it's still a fucking dope ass movie to me. I can still watch the old movies. I would literally watch three things inside of episode one. I would watch the very beginning before they make it down to Naboo. I would watch the pod racing, and then I would skip everything else and go directly to the end where they're making the raid into the palace, and then they go and fight Darth Maul.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
that's sick.
basically it.
I mean, it's whatever. I feel like we're getting a bit too off tangent on this one, but let's go back to our nostalgia versus
Yeah, the nostalgia factor. I kind of feel like we're in a weird standpoint where you kind of look back at the older games and like a better light just because during those times you were a lot younger, you had
mhm,
like
mhm,
less to worry about and shit like
mhm,
that.
mhm.
I genuinely think that if you took some of these games and released them during that time, we'd definitely be able to see the difference in how incredible the games were back then and how game design back then mattered a lot more versus than what it is now. Because a lot of it kind of just comes down to corporate bullshit.
Exactly.
Because a lot of it is monetization. Like damn near every live service game has a battle pass. Damn near
Ugh.
every live service game has some sort of subscription service where you have to,
Loot
oh, sign for this a
box.
month and we will give you all of this neat stuff and all these nice trinkets. And it's like,
Or in
it's
short,
kind of hard, man. Like,
microtransactions. In short,
yeah,
microtransactions.
like I miss the old days of like literally just playing the game and being able to unlock something. Like, oh, you beat the game. Here's a new unlock that you're able to use for your next playthrough.
Or
Or
cheat
like
code,
if it's
big
a
head
multiplayer
mode.
game,
Fun
yeah, I
shit.
was just about to say like have like fucking cheat codes or it's like infinite running power or like fucking you get to fucking do some crazy shit like literally have a giant head and just fucking run around or make them have giant heads or every time you do a headshot you fucking throw
You know,
confetti everywhere.
you know
It's
what's the
fucking hilarious.
best representation if they could? Oh wait, no, they already have. It's called Mortal Kombat charging for fatalities. Enough said. You know.
That is ridiculous. I still can't even believe that's a thing. Like I'm so pissed off at that idea. I still do not want to believe it. The only reason why I'm not going to believe it is I never went to the store to go check myself if you could actually buy a fatality. Like I know it's a thing, I know it's there, but I refuse to check it myself because then I'm going to be even more pissed off at the series and I'll never play it again.
I mean, I like to. I mean, the whole thing about. I mean, for me, it's why I even care. Like, it's still. It's like especially as a fighting game player, when fatalities are in the way. Like, you kind of just want to go to the next match, and fatalities waste your time. Only, no, no, no. Just, I literally, I'll always jabber to find the fastest way when I end a match. I'm like, oh, cool, let's go to the next one. I was like, fatalities are legit normie gimmick ass shit. Like to a FGC player, like it's pointless as fuck, mad pointless. So to me, that's why I'm not paying for it. I don't even use the regular fatalities. Like, it was cool back in the '90s. Its novelty is gone. 100%, especially as a pro player, but that's an entirely different conversation. I'm not saying to get
The
rid of
only time
fatalities.
I want to do that is if I want to absolutely mangle, like if you go to like a Thanksgiving party and your
Ah,
family's there,
exactly, exactly.
and you want to like mangle your cousin and just make them remember the day where you just fucking
Yup. Mm-hmm.
absolutely
Mm-hmm.
flawless
Mm-hmm.
his ass, be like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, by the way, here's this fucking fatality.
Right.
That's the only time you ever really pull out a fatality. Any other
Literally.
time you pull out a fatality, you're just a fucking prick at that point. Like
Literally.
no one really cares for the competitive scene. Every time you're about to do it, in fact, when they go to the finish him fucking thing, don't they usually like pause it and just go directly to the character select the
Yeah,
main
I was
menu?
just
Like
about to say,
we're
yeah,
not gonna
that's
even go
literally
through
what
the
they
rest
do.
of the
Because and
shit.
especially they're on a schedule. They don't have time for that. The only time you get a full fatality is in finals, and that's really it. But then the problem is because of esports, they kind of don't want you to do that either. So get fucked.
Oh no, it's too violent. You can't show violence.
I mean, that's the other problem. Like to me, I'm okay with esports and us being sort of sanitized, but I feel there's a good limit. Like we should still be able to curse. Don't say anything political out of pocket. 'Cause at the end of the day, it is video games. There is a child market, but to me, it's like I should at least be a teenager market. So like
Like
anything that's
obviously, like
PG-13.
if you're gonna win, I don't want you saying Heil Hitler on the fucking stage. Like we don't
Right,
want that.
right. And that's why I also think that Sonic, anytime Sonic Fox says this stupid shit, I'm like, he shouldn't. That's not esports. Like no one gives a shit about you know gay shit or your politics. Like that has nothing to do with
Man,
video games.
I suck dick for a living. I want you guys to know as I'm winning here. Like no one really cares, bro. Like this doesn't really matter. It's fucking irrelevant and shit.
And on top of that, like I
Like,
said, we already knew that the MK players are free, and you guys can see from someone who's one of the best FGC players in the yeah, dude, Mortal Kombat players are Omega free. Like, if you actually just have fundamentals, you become the best Mortal Kombat player. I'm not even joking. Like, just have fundamentals. Congratulations, you're one of the best Mortal Kombat players of all time.
well, I know how you have fundamentals in Mortal Kombat. Don't play the game.
That's even better too, actually. But
That's the
going
final
back to
level
you,
of learning fundamentals.
going back to your nostalgia thing, I think I to support you actually that it's not just nostalgic. The thing is, I think nostalgia is a lot harder when it's something that you did. Like, because there are some things that could be bad, but because you'll like it. Like, some people are acknowledgement, some people whatever. I look at Nintendo fanboys. Most of them, it's just too nostalgic. They can't play anything else that they suck dick. But to me, it's like a good example of someone being nostalgic and blinded is like mainly Street Fighter 2 boomers, right? Because Street Fighter is one of the first fighting games, and it did it very well. Street Fighter 2 specifically. But the reason why I like, to me, you can always go back and play it, even if it's new. But I tell people, like, if you want to get good at fighting games, you genuinely want to start, Street Fighter 2 is like the simplest, and it is literally the blueprint of every other fighting game. But here's the problem. It is so bare bones that because you come from newer shit, you can be, again, like, man, yeah, it'll get boring after a while. Okay, there's no real supers, there's no dry, like, oh, there's all, like, but that stuff's fun. It's cool. It enhances the game. And yeah, no, you could, like I said, I can genuinely, like, I could hop on right now, play Street Fighter 2 with codes. We could play for like maybe an hour, and then I wouldn't want to play it for like a month. I will sit there and be like, I want to play Third Strike. I want to play Alpha. I want to play 5. I want to play 6. I want to play 4. You know, like it. So, and the only people, again, that to me is when some boomers, oh, Street Fighter 2 is no, they're being mega boomer. Like, the game is objectively broken. Some stage like SF2 is objectively actually one of the most broken fighting games on Earth. Like, there is no tech. There's like actual stuff like there's no teching throws too much too much damage. There's actual stupid busted shit. Like Vega's claw shit, and you have to do the, like, no, there is objectively really fucking stupid shit in that fucking game. Like, it's a good game for sure. That's not nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a good template. It's like not nostalgia. Like, no, Street Fighter 2 aged well, but it's definitely not great. So anyone trying to say it's the bad, like, okay, you're 100% nostalgia talking.
Ever the only reason why they say that is because they got so good at the game, and they love the fact that they got so good at the
Hmm,
game.
hmm, hmm.
That might have been one of their very first games they ever gotten good at. So therefore, already right there, best game ever. Oh my god, this game's amazing.
Dude,
Oh, I'm
I,
like the best fucking.
I made a video talking about this exact same thing. No bullshit. Keep going on. I'm pretty sure you're just gonna say everything I said.
No man, but like objectively speaking, if you're really talking about the best Street Fighter, let's be honest, it's Street Fighter 3.
Yeah.
And then after that, like everything, either you're as good as Street Fighter 3 or you're not as good as Street Fighter 3. Like,
Facts. No, and it's true.
you know,
Like, do you ever notice, again, people, it's something they're used to and they're good, and like, this is why I said the biggest problem I think for fighting games. I noticed from like it's because people they're used to being good, and then when they go to something and they suck, they can't deal with the fact that I suck. Like, 'cause they forgot how it used to be when they first played Marlow or some reason. Like, you suck when you first played, right? So the idea of them having to suck into something else new, and that's just like such a human thing, right? That's why I think a lot of haters. That's why I think that's why most normies, like, they play everything and they suck at everything equally, right? Whereas I think people who are too into their genre, a good example, like turn-based players, that's why they can't play any other games, because first of all, turn-based games are easy as fuck, and then they go play literally anything, a shooter or a fighter, and I'm talking about like Naruto, not even like a real fighting game, and they're like, oh, it's too hard, like, because they clearly see, and especially with the internet, it's exacerbated it. They see like a pro Street Fighter play, like, oh, I want to do a 10-hit combo. They can barely do 3. They're like, oh, this game sucks. They don't see. They want to say, oh, I suck. No, the game sucks, right? So that is a factor for
how the
sure.
fuck do you punch kick? I can't do that shit, man. I want to be able to do all the good moves, man.
Right, yeah, yeah. But the other thing I was trying to get at, another example for the whole nostalgia thing. So let's see, that's what Street Fighter 2 is. I was thinking of, I'm trying to think that where people go nostalgia, right? And I would say for GTA 4, here's what the case is. It was a better game and engine, 100%, the water physics, everything. But as a product, 5 is better. You can do more fun things. It fixed a lot of the problems, but it was a sacrifice. Like, okay, we have more jetpacks, this and that, but we can't, and the world is bigger, but we can't have as many intricate details and shit like that. That's why it's like, and it's story-wise, I think it's opinionated too, but that's why I feel like, no, I like a lot of the elements and realism of 4, right, over 5. And I think the story was more grounded. But in terms of pure fun, 5 wins. 5 is just, like, 4 is very bare bones, right? It's definitely a more immersive experience, but 5 is more fun in a sense. But there was
In
another...
fact, we'll even be able to actually take that experience of like nostalgia from like Street Fighter, and you can apply that to literally any other
Yeah, yeah.
gaming genre or franchise.
Hmm,
Like,
hmm.
look at stealth games today, and then bring it all the way back to like Splinter Cell Chaos Theory.
Yep.
There's a complete night and day difference, because I kind of felt like over time we just started to add more crazy flashier stuff, like, oh yeah, you can do like the ultimate takedown, and like you can like auto aim and like kill all these people with insta kill attacks, which are like, what the fuck do we need all this shit for? Like, I miss the nice, quiet, you gotta move in quickly, calculated. You have to be able to time shit right. Like in Chaos Theory, perfect example. There's certain situations in the game where if you move too fast, there's certain things you're gonna end up missing on. Like, oh man, I completely forgot this code for, like, back over here. I could have used this code to get into this room and would have made life a lot easier. Or like, oh man, if I knew that this guy was talking about he was gonna go to sleep, I could have just waited until he went into this room and laid his head down. And by the time he lay his head down, I just, put a bullet in his head. Like little stuff like that. I feel like they don't have that anymore. Like it's all about the flashiness and none of the actual substance from like older games that what we used to have. There's no more substance in current games. Like very few and far in between, we do have that substance type of deal. Like you do have a variety of games today that I would say if you brought it back out during those times, they'd still be very good games and they'd be up there in the higher echelon of like, yeah, man. Like Elden Ring, I feel like if Elden Ring came out during
Right,
the
right.
time of like
Okay.
the 2010s, like 2011, or like right around the time when fucking Dark Souls came out for the first time. A lot of people would have been so fucking mind blown, like, oh my god, man, they had this fucking open world game that's like this game right here from the same makers, but it's way bigger. Like people would actually like it. But if you took other games like I don't know, Immortals of Avium
Oh
or
God.
fucking Concord or any
Ugh.
other, and if you took those games, they would literally still be in the trash bin with like Iron Man 2 and Naughty
Yeah.
Bear. Like,
Yeah, no, no, you know what it is to further proof it's the content. I was seeing like because even think about it, PS3 is my favorite era of all time, hands down, system and everything. But even I'm like, yeah, we can see a degrading quality. And this is why like it's not just nostalgia. Like, dude, you could be like, look at some of the Armored Core PS1 games. Okay, here's one mode, two mode, this and that. Oh, look at the options. Then you go to a game now, you're like, here's online. Go fuck yourself. I'm like, ugh. You know, right? Like so that's not nostalgia when it comes to modes. I feel like people are like, no, no. There's a reason we say PS2 era was pretty peak for what it was, and especially in terms of the game itself. Like graphics, I mean, some gameplay we weren't quite there, but in terms as a product, like you said, this is the thing that I go back. This is why I love playing pre PS3 games, and in some PS3 games, I'm like, oh my god. Even when I emulate, I'm like, wait. You're telling me I have the game disc right here. I put it in my modded PS3, and I could just everything's there. I don't have to download anything. It's like, oh, you know. But going back to a little bit, we were talking about the Street Fighter 2 thing. Is that it's true because, dude, even Zoomers agree that the older games are better. So it's not legit. It's not nostalgia at all. If Zoomer, look, literally, it's a video talk. Oh, I went from Tekken 8 to Tekken 6, and he even played 5 and 4, and even he was given, and he's like, dude, like, and I've had this before. Like, I've had moments where I'm like, oh, let me go play. I'm like, you know what? You'll sit here and be like, dude, the boomers are right. This it like it's better. If I can go from the new one and I come and and usually people have biases, right? That's like we never how we mentioned earlier because you're used to. So let that thing. I'm over here comfortable with 7 and 8, let's say, and then I go play. I'm like, oh my god, 5 really is peak, and then I play 3. It's like, oh, 3's over. Like, okay, you know what? 3 plays pretty fucking good. It's like they're not bullshitting. Like, it's legit when you start off with the newest or the one that's object, and then you go to the one like a good example. I did Strive and then I and even Rev, and I went to Accent Core. I'm like, Accent Core's better. Like, we're on some shit when you play the first one, which is the new one, or you're a Zoomer and you're like, nah, the old one is better. You can be like, okay, there are some quality of life, definitely, like, okay, something here in the graphics or the character rosters and balance, or fucking I like really right, like I like heat gauge or some shit, but like, dude, but the core gameplay feels smooth and like, oh, everything's sick, like, oh my god, it's like. And that's why, to me, I always go on that thing that FGC is peak because, dude, I played every other genre in game before fighting games. I should be biased against them, but no, I sat here and said, I'm saying it. I'm the zoomer for fighting games. I'm like, nah, they are peak. Like, so every FPS, it's like, no, I'm you first before a fighting game player. And I've transitioned. Well, I mean, I still play them, right? It's not like I did, but it's like, no. They are. Again, same like that Chad dude in my video in the beginning. He said the fighting game players are the best, whatever. And he's coming from an FPS, but granted, that's different. That's not quite the same. But again, the whole point being is that you can come in from your biased perspective and be a zoomie and still be like, nah, this shit's better. It's better. I've never once heard a zoomer, or again, someone like me, go back to SF2 and be like, oh, SF2 is better. I just sit here like, no, SF2 aged pretty well. And that's it. I won't sit here and play SF2 over Third Strike, Alpha, what? And even as codes, he has an annoying dude that plays him because this goes to show you only boomer losers play SF2. And in reality, they actually suck because they're free as fuck. And because Cody's like, dude, this guy's not even that good. And he's like, dude, he's always messaged to play Street Fighter 2. And I was like, dude, I just want to play Third Strike. Because we got the collection for Third Strike.
would it be safe to say that you could actually say like nowadays like we have games that have too many crutches versus the games that actually give you chances to like expand and like learn how to actually play the game?
Oh, 100. Oh, absolutely 100. And the thing is, I was seeing a good video talking about how old games did some things like they can be a bit vague, sure, whatever, but there are still tools that developer like they have to be very careful because remember they have memory was the limitation. Like limitations are like, and remember when they used to have the manual, that's how you learn most of your shit, and that was just a better way to do it. And there was no annoying ass tutorials in your way. So there was ways, okay, even if you didn't read the manual, they had to be like, okay, how can we teach you through the game level? They had to actually put in thought and effort in the level design to teach you how to play the game. And they weren't overly complicated. You said crutches and shit like that. We saw that a lot more during the PS3 era, and that's when developers became a lot lazy. Let's just put a bunch of text, this, that. Oh, let's add a really easy feature that lets you see through walls or some bullshit. Not even think about how it could ruin the experience.
No, we're at the point where games nowadays literally tell you what to do. Hey, that rock over there, it might be able to go to this area right here. Like, so what the fuck are we doing? Like, in all honesty, and even other games that really don't have like an extra like voiceovers and everything to like scream at you. Like, I'll even go as far as saying like the current Yu-Gi-Oh game. I mean, granted, this game is complicated as shit, and in all honesty, it just needs a more refined version of like what Yu-Gi-Oh is actually played like today versus like, oh, this is how you put a card on the field, and then this is how you go into the next phase. Now, we need to actually know, like, okay, this is modern Yu-Gi-Oh, and this is how it's fucking played. And if you don't know this, you're gonna be fucking stuck, and you're never gonna want to play this fucking shit ever again. Which is why I end up fucking doing the fucking dual school with whoever even wants to learn and shit. Which, speaking of which, Vile, how have you been doing in Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, I gave up on Yu-Gi-Oh. I am now a Pokemon heavy goer. I'm
Is
trying to
though.
catch them all.
Is though. I mean, and the
Oh,
and the thing is too, it's going to is gaming shifting back to being good. Only the indie side, like the triple, like I said before, it's already dying. We're reaching, like I said, Concord again. Concord is the ET of now. I give it 10 years before the AAA industry solves itself. But for now, it's the rise of AAA indie. And even with that being said, I'm gonna be honest. Outside a very small handful of indies, they're not gonna touch like PS2, PS3 era to me was the peak of gaming. Like PS1 was the very early. It's like PS1 and SNES, like there was some really good stuff here and there. I think like maybe SNES was the peak of 2D. But when it comes to 3D, PS2 was like when it comes to content and whatever was one of the best. But PS3 really pushed the envelope. Like I said, one of the most innovative games for AI was Oblivion, and we literally have not surpassed that. That they had to nerf the AI because of how good it was. And when it comes to presentation, PS3 was pretty peak, and we've not. Again, the fact that there's a picture you can put, oh, here's The Last of Us PS3, PS5, and then be like, what the fuck is the difference? Yeah, we haven't gone past that. And there are still some really god tier games that PS3 gave us, right? That's the only, if it wasn't for that, I would say PS3 is below 2. And the other reason why I think PS3 wins is because it's been around longer. Again, we had Gears, Halo, like, slap ass fucking games. I think even arguably the peak of MLG, right? Because S4, Third Strike PS3 version. But yeah, no. PS2 and PS3 are very close. PS1 definitely has some hidden gems and shit. Again, it was their first time really doing 3D, so there's a lot of misses. Some really bad game design here and there. If it wasn't for that, we have Metal Gear Solid 1, fucking Armored Core and shit. Oh, actually, no. If anything, we go by Armored Core alone. Armored Core had such a good run. Like, look at it. There was more games during the PS2 era, but PS3 there was less. See, this is the thing. There's more stuff, more content, and more games in the PS2 era, less in the PS3. But man, they refined some shit. Like Armored Core 4 to this day. And this again, not nostalgia. There are people who play 6, oh, whatever. And then they go play 4 or the PS2 ones, and they're like, dude, these are better. They even said they're harder, they're clunkier, but man, they're satisfying
love
as
Armored
fuck.
Core
Like there's a lot
6
more
to this
freedom.
very day.
Like the Armored Core 6 forces you. Like I will say, you could definitely feel some influence from the Souls games, which is bad. Like I don't like you get. And the thing is, you can still play. Like when someone's watching me play Armored Core 6, right? I was playing it like old school Armored Core. They wanted, how they have that weird gauge of, oh, you do this stunt thing. I'm like, no, what I did is, there's a plane. Let me peek in, out of corner, in, out of corner. It takes a long time, but I'm like, the thing about Armored Core is this is realistic. You're trying to be a genuine mercenary. You tried to find the most efficient way to not get hurt because you need to not get hurt so you can have money. Like if your mech is not damaged, that's repairs you don't have to do. So the game always incentivizes you to play in a safe way, and it found ways of like, okay, here's this, whatever. This game doesn't account for that. Like in Armored Core 6, you could play the lamest way possible, and the game doesn't compensate for that. You can get away. Whereas in 4 and all the other ones, the AI actively would be like, oh, he's trying to hide out. Like, let's try to flush him out. Remember how AI used to be like that? Whereas the new one, no, they want you to play like all Soulsy. Like, oh, we want you to track, sidestep, whatever, and go for the stunt and thing. It's like, that's not what Armored Core is about. Like that's such a weird. I mean, it's whatever, and it makes it easier because like once you know the patterns, the bosses are free. It's like then what's the point? It incentivizes, and the other thing is it incentivizes melee too much. And it's funny because that was the thing about melee in Armored Core 6 to 5. Yes, it's easier and more convenient because dude, old Armored Core melee was ass. That shit was trash. But here's the thing though, if you did the melee and you landed it, it felt good because that shit was bad. And then even when you saw online players, you're like, oh, dude, he's got melee. You know that fucker's for real. Whereas now, oh, doesn't mean anything. It's like, yeah, we've eased the melee, and again, nice touch of light, but like, it was better in the old one. You know, it was like, yeah, it's a bit janky, but that jank gave it its personality, and it's shit like that. Like, I think that's an absolute perfect representation of what we're referring to. Because like, I like 6, I beat it. I don't really feel like beating it again. It's not like Armored Core 4 or the other one. Like, I actually, right now, I'm thinking of them. Dude, I want to go back and play that shit. Like, yeah, the controls for especially the PS2 era ones were janky as shit. You didn't use analog. You used, R1 and R2 to look up and down, bro. That's how, but it gave it again, like what you said earlier, games actually felt different. You know, Armored Core 6 is like, why does this feel like a mix between COD, Armored Core, and fucking a Souls game with the camera? Like, what is this shit? You know?
Man, what about you, Val? You ever have any type of feelings of like older games that you reminisce about?
Reminisce about.
Yeah, man. Or you're like,
Yeah,
oh, this is better than the new
do
one.
you think about like, do you feel nostalgia for any like older games that you used to play versus now?
It would be like, I guess I would have to be like,
Vice City,
if I
San
go back
Andreas.
to like Crazy Taxi, because I put like mad hours in Crazy Taxi.
And you know, there's no
Like,
game
I'm
like Crazy
talking,
Taxi anymore, low key.
yeah, we need another gaming.
Well, I mean,
Crazy
Sega's
Taxi
working
2.
on one, so there you go, man. Happy days. You
You know
didn't
what would
hear?
be cool?
Sega's bringing a lot of their
Oh,
old IPs back. They're making new games, bro. Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, that beat 'em
So
I
up.
want Crazy.
wait. So correction, they're not making new IPs. They're just bringing back our old shit because they know
Oh,
that
right,
we
right, true,
missed
true,
the
old
old
shit,
shit
bro.
because it was really fucking awesome.
Yeah, but they're making like extra
Hey,
sequels,
these are
not just
remakes that we
remakes.
want, though. These are remakes that we want. I will say that.
That's true. That it is. It's actually something we want. Like, no one
It
asked
would
for
be
Resident
kind
Evil
of
4
cool
remake. No one did. No
to
one.
get it in VR version. I would like Crazy Taxi in a VR version.
Ooh, oh, dude, that'd be a motherfucker.
I think that would be sick.
It would be a motherfucker, though, that's for sure. People finna throw up.
I would almost be
Oh,
fine with that, but Crazy Taxi in real life is so much better. So
Yes. By the
no
way,
way.
mini update, Vile, your boy, but you should have said Fat Guy from Meat Canyon. His name is garbage. Fat Guy from Meat Canyon said more base shit again. He was
What did he
basically
say?
he was basically
hey,
saying that
so
people give too many fucks about the fucking game. I was like, dude, it's just an award. And he said the only people who are gonna remember in 5 years is the person who won it while he stares at it. I was like, dude, that is depressing. But he's speaking fact. And he even said like, when people say who's that, it's like, dude, I guarantee, like, dude, if you're too into your bubble, like, dude, I guarantee you the fucking more people know who Pecora is than I am, you know. And he even got the name right too. Like, my man was spitting. He's like, bro, who gives a shit? This is so stupid. It's like, bro, like, and you know, and at the end of the day, the problem why people care is because they're privileged. They got nothing better to do. It's such a privileged thing. It's like literally, he was just speaking bars. I'm like, dude, I hope he wins because he's so fucking base, bro. I like Fat Guy Meat Canyon, dude. I don't like his name. He needs to change it. It's a stupid name. Fat Guy Meat Canyon guy.
I've never
hey,
seen his
so
latest video.
And
I
even
think
better,
that's his name.
the VTuber Pecora didn't even know what the Game Awards was. She only found out because she got nominated. So it goes to show you how irrelevant the Game Awards is. Just, the fuck is this?
imagine being around since 2005 and very like people who are like around now just have no idea what the fuck you are.
That's true.
Yeah,
And he was
because like a lot of people forget that it actually started back in the day on Spike TV as the what was it? Spike TV's video game awards. It was the VGAs.
mhm.
And after when Spike TV fucking fell off, he ended up picking up the game awards and just continued it on from there. But that like I'm not gonna lie, during that time early on, like it was actually a lot of fun to watch the game awards because they made it entertaining. Like there were like skits in between like the awards and shit, and like back in the day there was more production that felt more entertaining. It was more for the gamer rather than like once it hit like let's say like 2013 2014, like right around the time where Dragon Age Inquisition won its award. That was around the time where like it felt like okay, this is 100% like corporatized, like, and now it actually is like a Oscars, like a Grammys, like we're
True.
not having fun anymore.
Yeah.
We're not literally praising all of our favorite games. We're not talking because I believe there was an award for like the worst game. Like they had
Oh,
like a Razzie version of like
nice.
just so people had a chance to kind of boo at the game.
Good.
But then they ended up changing the rules over time
Bitch.
just because it's not polite to be booing
Shut
at
the
people
fuck
who work
up.
so hard on these
And,
games.
and it's crazy because the other thing I want to say about, because I always hear about the G4 show, and it's funny because people need to realize that some things are just niche. Like if something's on cable, unless it's SpongeBob or something big, it's a niche. Like I didn't have cable a lot, and I sadly even when I didn't have the channels for those. So like I think I seen maybe an episode or two of the TV. Remember the stupid Summer Con was on, whatever. And it goes to show again the Game Awards is a super niche thing, anyways, too. And again, going back to Fat Guy Meat Canyon, he was saying it's like just because you know who that person is doesn't mean everybody else does. Like he literally was saying what I was saying about the Michael Jackson video. He's saying like, dude, he said after this era, dude, everybody lives like in their own bubble, bro. Like no one's famous anymore, especially not online. I'm like, this man is so beautiful. He's like, I guarantee you there are more people that probably know who she is than I am. And there are more people who don't know who either of us are. I'm like, ah! I want to hug this fat man. He's too base for this world, bro. Like he was saying, like, dude, none of us. If you want to say who, like, dude, who is any of us? Like, who are any of us? Like, really? I was like, dude, why is it's like, look, and he said something later. He might have said Keanu Reeves, like, he's like, dude, unless you're him, then okay, sure. But he's like, or he's in like someone from sports. Like, yes, again, you know, like I said, I don't watch basketball, but I actually know who basketball players are, and I don't watch basketball. Let that sink in. That's real famous, bro. You don't even know this shit, whatever. But you're like, hey, that's a dude. You just know he exists. And guess what? PewDiePie, the most famous gamer, period. Dude, he could walk in the street, no one will know who the fuck he is. Like, it's so crazy how I think, oh, who, bro? No one knows who you are. Shit.
If he were to walk on the street, he really just has like the
Kids.
regular Swedish face. Like,
True, that's
no,
true
no
too.
one's really gonna know who the fuck he is, regardless.
Exactly.
I've
Yeah,
seen
I'ma
his
be
face a
honest.
billion times, but if I were to walk down the street and he was walking right past me, I would just think it was just another person who was just, oh look, it's just another white guy.
True. I
Like,
mean, a better way to put it, think about it. He's in Japan, and he has fans in Japan. I mean, but also Japan, probably Japanese people don't bother him. He says every now and then there are fans, especially when he goes to like the place where a lot of tourists are. But he says like, yeah, no, for the most part, people just leave me alone. Like he's like, oh, like no, I think people don't even recognize me.
what you mean? People don't walk up to him and completely disrespect him as a person? What?
And the thing is, because he does have that problem. He said when he was in Sweden and in America, he had that problems a bit
Oh,
sometimes.
100%. No, we're 100% known for that. Like, if you're a famous person and like people in America know who the fuck you are, they would literally just run into your
Yeah.
face. Oh my God, I'm bleeding to death. I need to call the hospital. Oh my God, are you this person? Here, let me take a picture of you. Bitch, I'm bleeding to death. Can you like call an ambulance for me instead? Jeez.
I
Like,
will say
yeah, we're
though,
that.
it is funny.
We're that obnoxious.
You can still see that he at least is still one of the most famous gamers ever, because when he was on that cycling with Sea Dog, there were people with fans like, oh, PewDiePie, you know, as a kid, and his dad is like, oh, that's cute and wholesome, right? So I think part of it, like, again, he is big, but not as big as people, whatever. But I've also, again, like, the culture in Japan is different. Like, they aren't fucking annoying, obnoxious assholes, unless you go to the tourist spots, and that's a different story. The whole point being is, like, the guy, like I said, I like that fat guy was saying that, like, dude, we're irrelevant as fuck. Like I said, that thing that he said about the trophy was, like, deep as fuck. About, bro, the only person who's gonna know in 5 years is the person who won it when he stares at it in the fucking mirror. I'm like, dude, that's so deep. He didn't have to go that
And
hard.
for the people who are denying that what he said is not, like, if they believe that's not true, who won 5 years ago?
Oh my god, literally! No, even better. Some who won this or that. Like, dude, I couldn't. I mean, I don't care. It's like, dude, yeah, literally. No, every time you guys be like, oh, did it? The only thing I remember is that Doom got cucked. That's all I remember from the Game Awards. I barely remember who won shit after that. I just know Doom got cucked.
I got an entire list of games I got fucking cucked over the years.
See, and here's the thing. Going back to why the nostalgia thing is the fact I've been going back and playing old games and emulating, and I've been having fun. And I remember at the end of the day, here's the thing: I can name games from PS3, PS2, oh, Resident Evil 4, 5, you know, this, that, whatever. But for PS4 now, Doom, Neo, it's why is there only okay? Look, don't get me wrong. There's Ace Combat, Day 6, again, other ones, but like we're talking about the peak of the peak. There's only 2. Why is there only 2? I'm always gonna be on that shit, dude. What the fuck?
Why know what I want to do next episode? What I want to be able to do is everyone make a list of one game that they would play, and that year, like we'll go a span of like, we'll say like 10 years. We'll do a span of 10 years. We'll pick out of the 10 years the one game that we will play for that year.
Ooh, true.
And then like even if you want to still play the older game that you chose from the year before, you can still choose it for the next year if you want. And just continue on and like I like truly make your own version of like, you know, your greatest game titles and shit.
You know what? I like that. I like that idea actually. That's not, you know what? That's a good idea for the next one. And I will say this: it's not like it was super bad. Like the problem is like where you had 10 games a year for PS2 and maybe 5 PS3, you have like 1 for now. You know, for every year maybe 1 or 2 if you're really lucky. You know, but yeah, that's a good idea.
To be fair, you get 3 every generation now, and in fact, 2
Yeah,
every generation.
literally,
That's
yeah.
where we're at. Because all the other games are on PS5, or most of them are fucking either previously on the PS4 or they're fucking remakes from another era.
All right, so we don't count those then. We don't count remakes. I think that's a good thing to put. We don't count those.
If you honestly like feel like, oh, the experience is so much better in the remake, then I'll throw it in. Go ahead, be my guest. But like, I'm not gonna be the one to like throw in Grand Theft Auto.
That's the thing. No, that is cat. That is like the same shit. There is no. See, that is like no. That is a good example. But the thing is, there's very few games that had such a massive difference. Like DMC4 on PS3 and PS4, okay, it's better because it's more solid 60, but largely it's the same experience. Largely the same experience.
True.
You know, and mind you, that's a great
So
remaster, but still largely the same experience. So even with good
before I
remasters, like,
leave, because it's my break,
oh, you're
I
funny.
just want to leave you guys off with this.
Okay.
If you were given a chance to play one game for 5 years, but you'll get $5 million, which game would you play?
Oh, that's
Dead
easy.
or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
I'd have to say SF5. SF5. I already spent basically 8 years, so that's nothing new.
But only for that game. Like you can't play nothing else within.
Again, I already have for basically 8 years.
Oh, you
So
shit! You did it for free. And why? What was yours?
No, it was a joking one. I want to see if I can get a laugh out of GG for
no, you
with
did.
that one.
You did.
Extreme Beach Volleyball.
I mean,
But,
that's not a bad one. I mean,
no,
yeah.
it really isn't bad. It's actually a pretty good game. Like besides
I
the
never
eye
heard
candy
of
bullshit,
Yeah,
it's a
it's fun.
genuine good game.
Right,
And
fun.
that's because the man who ended up, you know, coming up with the idea to make it is a true Chad.
He
But
is.
if I were to really choose a game,
Like, for me, it has to be like, if I'm gonna play for so long, it needs to be something where there's multiplayer. Like, clearly, right? Because you can only play a single player game for so fucking long.
you know what? If I were to choose a game, it'd definitely be a single player game. And I kind of had a toss up in between two of my favorite single player games. Actually, three of my favorite single player games. Because the three on top of the list for me, Shadow of the Colossus, the Mass Effect series. Because in all honesty, even though like you know there's three games for Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3,
It counts as one.
I consider it like an entire fucking series because you literally can play that game back to back and it feels fucking seamless. And
Yeah.
then Cyberpunk, because in all honesty, like I can't even believe how much I've been enjoying Cyberpunk.
I mean, Cyberpunk
Like
is
just
just
going
Skyrim in
back
the
and
I
actually
future.
getting
noticed
into
you've been.
it.
Yeah, no, I
You,
think
like
like,
you
I was
really
even.
playing it.
I was gonna say, if it's not a multiplayer game, it has to be a super long single player game with replayability. So games like Skyrim and shit, you know. Again, Mass
You know what's
Effect,
funny?
Cyberpunk. Yeah, what?
I was going back and forth between like Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto.
Oh God, you're such a normie.
Okay.
Because think about it, I could become even more of a pro Call of Duty player. Like I want to
Oh,
master
true.
my
See, exactly.
sniping
See,
skills.
see,
But within 5 years, a new Call of Duty is gonna come out and probably has a different movement.
see, and
mechanic, so
and now you
therefore I can't
understand
even.
why competitive COD sucks dick. What if you're really good at
So
one?
this is why I am gonna decide to do GTA online because GTA plays
Well,
the same.
well, here,
regardless.
spoiler alert. Within the next 2 years, we're gonna have well, every game from this point forward is gonna have Omni movement. But within the next 2 years, we're gonna have a Call of Duty game that has jetpacks and Omni movement,
Ooh,
and that's gonna be the game
Oh,
that I'm gonna be fucking excited for.
what you like the jackpacks?
dude, that's
Dude, I
sick.
fucking enjoyed it. Dude, the jetpack era was actually a lot of fun, and I would genuinely say that it actually brought up the ceiling for competitive Call of Duty
It did.
to
It
like
did.
next fucking level.
But the problem is you already know too many people. Oh, boots on the ground. See, because you're a normie, Val. Shut your bitch ass up. Okay, whatever. I agree with you, Mark. I mean, it's yeah, no, it did, but yeah, no. Regardless, the nostalgia versus like, no, it is facts. As a product, they were better. You don't have to buy no bullshit DLC. And even in depth, like I said, Tekken again, the fact that someone said in like Tekken 5 is a better competitive game than 8, and they started with 8, enough said, bro. There is no bias. Like if anything, there's a bias towards 8. But he's like, no. He even said like, no, okay, I suck, but that's me. I'm not gonna blame the game. I just suck. This game actually requires fucking execution. You know, Tekken 8 is brain dead as fuck. That's why, like, again, I was playing the demo, and I think then I finally bought Tekken 5 on my PS3, and I'm like, dude, I literally, within playing a bit, I'm like, Tekken 5's better. I didn't have to go turn, I'm like, Tekken 5 is better. I can see why people
Man,
glaze this game.
you know it's crazy. I just started thinking about like the fucking differences and shit. It's like even when it came down to like cliffhangers, if you're playing like a story-based game, the cliffhangers from back in the day
Way better.
felt more rewarding than any of them today.
Yeah.
Like the cliffhanger that we got from Halo Infinite, the fucking recent storyline that we ended up telling,
Forgot there was even one.
hella weak. And the main reason why it was weak because they already had like this fucking 10-year plan that they were gonna tell this grand story and adding extra DLC to this Halo Infinite game.
Shit.
And yeah, because spoiler alert, they ain't never gonna fucking add shit to the campaign. So going back and looking at like the games from beforehand, even though the game was botched, Halo 2's fucking ending is still fucking memorable.
Dude,
Like-
Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, fuck you mean, bro? Heck, ODST, Reach, all of them. They did not miss.
man.
That's what, see, again, like you said, old game, like, bro, they didn't miss. You never miss.
The music, it didn't miss.
Nope.
Like
Mm-mm.
you remember the fucking
Bro,
theme
bro.
song.
You know what? Actually,
Like the
further yet,
Killzone fucking like you remember the Killzone main menu.
dude. No, no. Oh
Like if
my
you
god. No,
played that game, you
oh.
I say main menu for Killzone and you hear it right now.
No, no. I no. You was gonna say like, dude. I was about to say like, bro. Even to further prove the point that nostalgia, like, bro. I don't think there's anything iconic outside of the. Think about it. Outside of Doom 2016's there's nothing iconic this generation. Halo, dude, literally, you said the kill zone, and I thought Halo. Oh, like, dude, come on, bro. Oh no, Guile's. No, let's go to the 80s, 90s. Guile's theme. Like, come on, bro. Nothing now is as iconic, as
Even
catchy.
bring up the it's like hell, fucking Kirby's theme song
Dude,
for
oh,
fucking Dreamland. Like
bars.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Yep, nope.
Like literally older games in general just had bigger impact.
And even within their own genre, like Zelda currently, I don't think has a single iconic song. FF, even FF, 15 song, whatever, it's not as iconic as FF7's, old Zelda songs and noises, more iconic. Like, even, especially Resident Evil, don't get me started. The fact it's so bad that Resident Evil have to keep reusing noises in the PS3 to PS4 era, and then PS6 or PS4, 5 era, they keep some and then they use them, and they're not iconic. Like I said, think about it. They had to remake the goddamn fucking save theme from the typewriter, and everyone hates it compared to the OG. I think it's fine, but I saw a lot of fans hate the shit out of the remake. Fucking, they're like, dude, this is ass. Like, bro, the fact that like a PS2 game, save theme music slaps, and then you hear the fucking Resident Evil 7 Village and Rematch, and you're like, what the fuck is this? This boring ass fucking Hulu menu looking shit. Or in Resident Evil 3 Reimagining, there is no song. It's just, here, fuck you. No, you know what even I do? They made DLC because they're bitches. Oh, here's the classic songs from Resident Evil 2. Bro, I legit love playing the original soundtrack over the reimagining. I'm like, dude, this has more atmosphere. What the fuck? Like, it's out of place at first, but you're like, wait, holy shit, it fits the game. What the fuck? And mind you, they're not the same game. Like, Resident Evil 2 OG and reimagining, they're not the same game. Playing with tank controls and playing with not tank controls, completely different experience. It's not the same game. That's why it's a reimagining. It's not even a remake, bro. That alone, ignore the story, which is completely different. On that premise alone, that's why it's a reimagining. It doesn't play anything like the OG. But yeah, no. I love that you brought up music, because in that alone too, it's like we were talking about content and then gameplay. Oh, bro, fucking sound design. Plus, I mean, whatever. I feel like we're going on enough. So just so you guys know, if Zoomers are agreeing with us, yeah, it's not nostalgia. The older games were better, dude. It's not nostalgia. Like, did they have flaws? Sure. Are there, again, modern games do a lot of things that are convenient, and sometimes it can be hard to go back to old games. I've had this when I play PS1. I'm like, oh god, they didn't invent this yet. I'm like, this is kind of annoying. But you could look past it, and the game is still good, which is even more impressive that you're willing to look past the conveniences we have now. Like, okay, I was a shitty jank, like, but it's crazy how we had worse controls back then, but yet we have jankier fucking controls and hitboxes now than we did then. Like, holy shit. I don't know. Also, they ran better. This
Yeah,
was even crazier. They ran better too.
I'm like the last notes that I want to add to this
Mhm.
part of the conversation. Like I would definitely say like even though we have vidocs of like people talking about like the extra shit that they add into games today and like how deep they go into like sound design and stuff like that. You can even see stuff like that, but it doesn't really feel like it's at the forefront compared to what it was like from beforehand. Like
Exactly.
when you watch Vidocs from back in the day, like you really felt like blood, sweat, and tears was really put into it. Where
Hmm.
now it just kind of feels like it's sort of like a PowerPoint piece that they want to add to like, oh, okay, here, let's make sure we have this check mark so
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
people can think like, oh yeah, we're going more detailed, we're going better. When in all honesty, the real details that you're really adding to your game for most of the games, a lot of the time, is going to be the monetization that you're adding into the game.
Yeah. No, actually,
And that's the thing that really sucks ass. It's like I can't watch a Bungie Vidoc now and like get into it knowing what they're doing now because I know their monetization system is being implemented into practically every Sony game from this point forward, and how that is going to end up being. I'll call it now. It's going to be a huge detriment to Sony's failure. Like
y-
Sony's going to end up fucking sinking even harder just because they're going to go extra ham on making sure that you spend every single dollar on the games that they release. And on top of that, of it going into conversion of like, oh, it's going to come out on PC. Yeah, it's going to come out on PC like 2 to 3 years from now. So by that time, you're not going to even want to play the game. So a lot of people are going to be turned off of wanting to play Sony's PlayStation just because
mhm,
they refuse to look back at what formulas worked and
mhm.
continue on building upon that formula. They want to add extra shit into their pockets instead. And in all honesty, like I think even Microsoft noticed that they were doing that, which is why they're going more into the line of we're more of a games service rather than we're selling consoles type of deal.
Or
Like they'll
games.
still sell like the shell for you to like, oh, so you'd be able to stream from directly from here. You don't even have to download the game, or you just buy your Xbox and have a Samsung TV or a Fire Stick. You could connect your Xbox controller to that and just play the games through the internet. All you need is our subscription. Like that's really all they're really doing now.
I
And
mean,
it
yeah.
kind of because I want for them to be able to bring out really good first party games. I mean, fuck, you own all of these fucking studios. Why are you not utilizing them? It is what it is. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and all we're gonna do is just move on to all the great indie games. They're gonna
Yeah.
end up becoming the AAA games.
Yeah, no.
That's literally what's gonna happen.
And it's funny because that's actually kind of what happened after the Atari era. We had a lot of people who were indie became full, and then it's funny they became full, and then they were under whatever, and then they went back, and then the problem it sucks is that we have a lot of young people getting into it, and we have new people like me. Like again, the only AAA developer that went indie and is doing okay is the guys who are making. Remember that game I talked about, the Escape from Tarkov, made by the dudes who made Killzone. You could see the art influence, and it's something they were gonna have for Sony, but Sony didn't want it. They're like, oh, we don't want this. And like, fuck it, I guess we'll go do it ourselves. And it has, and you can tell the AAA developers because it's the most demanding indie game period, which sucks for accessibility, but it's like it's kind of hard to hold back their creativity. Like clearly, this is their vision, and I respect it, right? But the other thing I want to add to you,
Who
remember
would you consider the most? Who would you consider the most successful indie developer?
if anything, I would say it's a tie between the Stardew Valley dude and Minecraft or Notch, because of the fact.
I would 100% because honestly, I asked you that question. That's the first person that came in mind. Because fucking the creator of Minecraft, like, yeah, he is without a doubt probably the most successful indie gamer
Oh, true. If you're talking about
or
success,
developer.
well, even then, the thing is because if we're talking about a company over, like, obviously he sold it this and that, and it wasn't just him. He was a good part of it, whatever. He was the director. But to me,
Yeah,
like, in pure success, I want to give it more to Stardew Valley because he genuinely did it by himself, did the code. And like, I seen the documentary, and like, he honestly, he had almost everything set up to fail against him, but he succeeded. And that to me is far more like Minecraft. You can be like, yeah, I can see that succeeding. But with Stardew Valley, it's a miracle it fucking succeeded. If we're talking pure numbers, obviously Minecraft wins, not a contest. But if we're talking what we can determine as success, you have to give it to Stardew Valley. He put in far more hustle than Notch ever did, and he's way more humble than Notch as well. Notch right now is actually miserable in
no,
his fucking
that's
mansion.
very true. I'm not gonna lie. If I was in Notch's position, I'd be even more snippier than what he is now. Like, bro, like what? I sold Minecraft. Come on.
And now Minecraft ain't exactly what it used to be. I'd argue Minecraft's a worse product now than when it was it
Oh
was in
no,
Notch's
it's a
hands.
much worse product. It's actually watered down compared to what it first was. Like
And
it
you know
really
what?
felt like a fucking phenomenon back in the day. Now it just kind of feels
It's just there.
like a
It's
child's
there.
plaything in it. Like it's the new Play-Doh.
Yeah, and to me,
That and Roblox.
Yeah, of course. But to me, the funny thing about Minecraft, I feel like calling it a game is an insult because it honestly, uniquely, is just entirely its own thing. You know how there's games that are like that's why like when even I do my game awards eventually, it's like I really really want to separate because there's a difference between your games like Pac-Man, games like Gears, and then games like Minecraft. One's completely just its own thing, and even games like that are super walking games. Like a turn-based RPG is not the same as Gears. Gears is not the same as your walking sims, and your walking sim is not the same as Minecraft, and Minecraft is not the same as something like Stardew Valley. Like I think inherently we put them under the same umbrella, but if we're being honest, this shows how young this is why even genres they really shouldn't be lumped in together. They can serve completely different purposes. That's why I think when they do, it is cool to have games. Like if we're trying to be the core of, there's a true game, right? Basically Pac-Man. Stories, gay, this and that. Like, no, here's a pure game. You go play to have fun. And then a secondary would be games like Gears, like his story, this and that. But the core is still you're playing a game. And then you have games that are more like in between, like Last of Us. That's like a story-ish kind of game thing. And ones where like you're here, they're more of an interactive movie. Games like where, there's no gameplay buttons. You're like, oh, let me go walk around, watch stuff. And okay, you beat the game. You didn't really do anything. There is no, to me, a game has to have, you have to a fail state. And games like more Till Dawn or whatever, they don't really have a fail state. And then games like Minecraft, also not a fail state, but it's clearly a game. I think it's entirely its own thing. Same with like Stardew Valley, whatever. Or, like you get what I'm saying? Like I feel like if we really want to help to make genres, we also got to differentiate that Pac-Man should not be in the same list as Gears, and Gears should not be in the same list as Until Dawn, and Until Dawn should not be in the same list as something like Minecraft. They're just completely too fucking different. They're way, way too different, bro. Like, yeah, quote
I feel
games.
like the only reason why you can say that they're completely different though is because they come from different times.
It's not even
Like
just that. Some of these
you
come around the same era. Gears came around the same time as Minecraft.
well, true, but it also came from a different mindset because
Absolutely.
like the way where Gears basically just came off of a stem of Unreal Tournament. And then Minecraft was literally the idea of just building blocks, but inside of a gaming world.
And And here's a better way to put it. I think, again, to show you how young we are, we need to pioneer, is we need to make these realizations. The problem, I think, with gaming overall, think about it, the fact that people have beef when, oh, there's gamers, 50% are men and women, and then we count mobile games, oh, but that's not, see, there we go. That, because we inherently know mobile gaming is not even the same either. Like, we really, basically, we're at the point where we need to realize, like, with music, imagine right now, there's a difference between rap, metal, techno, but right now we're at an era where we just say music, it's all music. Like, yeah, sure, we know a difference, but the fact we haven't separated them enough to know that when we have conversations, they kind of are in their own thing. And even if we loop them in together, like I said, okay, for example, like, you're not going to have a conversation about, oh, Swedish House Mafia when we're talking about rap. He has nothing to do with rap. He doesn't belong in the conversation. But we're saying, okay, what's the best song of this time? Then, okay, it's like, then we need people like who like both be like, okay, if from my point of view, do I like Eminem's song? Like, you can't compare. The best way you can compare is, which one do I like to listen to more? And then that's the metric you go to. Same thing with like Minecraft or something. What do I play more often, Street Fighter or Minecraft? And then that could determine, right? But even then, that's why it's like, that's why, again, those lists are very, because people will only play one thing, whatever. But you get what I'm saying, though, right? We need to realize that Pac-Man is pop, Gears of War games are rock, Minecraft is rap, and, you know, walking sim games are closer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like walking sim games need to be more like in movies than they do belong in gaming list. You know,
Minecraft at best is bluegrass.
Well, I was just making that. You get what I'm saying, though? Like, we need to establish that.
I know what you mean.
Like, because at the end of the day, like, I personally, to me, I consider walking sim games not games. They're not video games. They're more interactive movies than video games. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're more influenced by movies than they are by video games. Because you don't really need to have that much good code. Even as, from a technical standpoint, they're 1000% easier to make, and there's very little to no gameplay. Like, genuinely, I think they're more interactive movies. If people say that, like, no, they're interactive movies, and I argue iPhone games to a degree are kind of like a weird mishmash. They're kind of in Minecraft's realm where they're like, they take a skew to the left, but they're actually closer to video games than even modern video games, because you go, you play, that's it. Story, whatever, doesn't matter. Like, you're here to play fucking Bejeweled or Candy Crush. Like, that's a game. Like, this is funny to say. Candy Crush Saga is more of a video game than Gears, Halo, this and that, because at the end of the day, it gets you straight to whatever. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, you know, even though it's trash, it's still more true of a game than Gears and Halo and Street Fighter and all this other shit. Because at the end of the day, you still have to do, like, no. Let me Thingo Burr, because guess what's Pac-Man? Thingo Burr. Like, they're simple. At the end of the day, video games at their core are simple as fuck. They are a game. You know, that is the core. But the thing is, we're past that. Like, they're cool and all, but there's something that you play on the side, right? There's a reason why competitive gaming never took off with that era. It was high scores. High scores is not the same as facing a person in Street Fighter and Gears. You can only get so MLG at collecting little, you know, in Pac-Man or in Donkey Kong. Like, they're cool. Gaming is cool, and it is this thing, but gaming would not be the entity it is now if it didn't modernize. Like, to me, I consider what I call classic, and mind you, they're still great. Me and Codes, we love playing old classic video games, and there is something like, they're straight to the point and fun. That's the thing that about classic video games that I love, and why they last, and are even more fun than some modern games. They're just fun. They're just here. Here's a spaceship, blow shit up. Story, okay, you're here in World War II. We're not gonna go into the, but here you go. Like, they are the core of what gaming is, and that's why I think it's still good to pay respects. But at the end of the day, no one's here busting nuts to Galaga. Galaga doesn't have the influence that Master Chief has. There are people who have gotten out of depression because of Master Chief. I mean, it could be the same with games too, right? But a video game to me is a component of story, sound, and gameplay, you know, and then competitive. Like, it's a core effect, though, right? Like I said, good example again, Halo, Gears, Street Fighter, what they all have in common, characters that we all love and idolize and grow up. And you know what, I want to be like Master Chief. I want to be like, you know, I mean, it's true. I look up to characters like Master Chief, and you can't look up to Pac-Man. What the fuck you gonna look up to? You know, and the same thing is, like, I don't give a shit about a Pac-Man tournament. Oh, you give me a Gears, a Halo, a Street, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Because I eat all of my fruit.
You know, but you get what I'm saying, though. And then that one element, like the gameplay, again, Halo, Gears, and even Street Fighter pay homage. They have very video gamey rules, like video games. But then the thing is, they try to do immersion. Core video games can't be as immersive. Like, Halo is an immersive ass fucking story, 100%. I'm not getting immersed in Pac-Man. You know, I think there's too many elements in modern gaming to like. That's why I feel like we need to come up with a term. I don't know what the fuck it is, because we already have interactive movies. That's what those other games are. And then you know, we'll just say mobile games, because fuck it, I don't give a fuck. But I don't know. We're still very young. We're like, the thing is, we need to realize we need to humble ourselves to be like, there are things that have been around. Heck, movie barely got their shit together. Like, dude, we haven't even been around for what, 40 years. Like, if we really want to learn, we have to learn from our history. And like, same when it comes to getting good, and it's something I've seen from being fighting games. Let's look at the OGs who have been trying to get good for years. Martial arts and music. They have even structures on. Okay, this again. I've been teaching. I've been learning. How do I properly teach people efficiently? Let's go learn from people who've been doing this for years. Same thing when it comes to our categorization, and that's why I think the Game Awards are the Game Awards are living proof of how behind the general public is. Like, again, think about it. They already get the fighting game category wrong. They just within genre. We're not even talking about the fact that when we do Game Awards, there should be different ones. We should have one for anything that's purely a video game, games that we normally play, you know, Gears, God of War, whatever. Ones for iPhone ones or anything like that, and then ones for Minecraft, whatever, because they're just not the same. They're literally not the same thing. They're just too fucking different. Like I said, it's like me as a techno dude out here saying, "Oh man, Eminem's a good techno." Like, homie, what are you high? You can like both, but they're not the same. I mean, I don't know. That's why I mini tangent. That's why I feel like I said, this is just because genre terms are. Because again, people say I hate the term Souls like. I think it's stupid. Like, what action RPG games don't exist? What are you, retarded or something? I hate that term so much. But anyways, that's my mini tangent that I went off for no reason.
Well, with all that being said, man, that's pretty much more or less everything that we touched base on for now.
True. Is there anything else you want to? I feel like there was something, at least one more update. I don't think it would be that long. We were talking about the whole nostalgia thing and shit, and of course, just that many tangents I went off for no reason.
No, I mean, I feel like we did pretty good on touching all of those stuff. I still want to hear everything that Honorable and Violet got to say about what you wanted them to talk about.
True. I think they didn't have that much more to add at the end. They would just be adding on more to what we were saying and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, no, oh, you're supposed to see how Halo's a cultural phenomenon. You never, you said the dudes are just playing the, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, sure, you could put your little Marlowe song, but homie, Marlowe is not Master Chief. Like, that's why when they had a list of iconic characters, I'm like, yeah, more people recognize Steve. Like, kids will recognize Steve, but no one's sitting here and being inspired by Steve, you know. But a kid, like, literally, the kid played Fortnite and thought Ryu was so cool and iconic that he got into Street Fighter. I guarantee you that kid's a better man now because of Ryu. Minecraft Steve ain't doing that to you, dog. You know. I'm just saying, I hate to be mean, you know. Like
oh my god, I'm so inspired by Minecraft Steve. I can't wait to see his true life adaptation of Jack Black playing the role. It's going to be so incredible. I like to hear the true story of Steve and what he had to go through in order for him to get to where he's at. He's the most incredible character. He's so durable. He's so graceful. He's stronger than every character ever made. He's like Sephiroth on extra steroids
hell
and
no.
manly
Actually,
manpower.
one last thing I do want to add that makes video games. I'm just gonna say that now. Video games, so different compared to movies. It's that the story sometimes. That's why I think Souls games are good. They are a true game. You have to figure it out yourself. Like, you either beat the game and you earn that ending. And remember, there's bad endings too. Say Mass Effect, good example. That's a video game. You don't just get the ending. You have to earn it. You have to actually not get your ass beat. And then there's multiple endings depending what you choose. And then on top of that too, like, look at lore, like Souls games. Oh, I have to look at items. Street Fighter. You get this vague lore story. Kids says, wait, why do all the dolls have suplexes like Vega? And then you know that, and then you realize the game never tells you. You make the connection. They all have the same suplex because it is been suggested that Vega trains. And think about it, by playing the game, you get lore. And I think that's what makes video games unique, is that playing the game, you discover lore. Same when I looked at the files in Resident Evil, I had to manually, oh, what's this? And then read the files myself to discover lore. The game doesn't feed you the shit. Whereas movies, you never show, don't tell, or they explain to you shit. Whereas video games, it's 100% you, and that's why it's a more immersive experience. Like, no one handed you, no one forced you. That's why I think cutscenes should be very sparingly in video games. Like, maybe for, like, again, Souls games actually do this very well. Like, intro boss thing, and that's it. That's the only, usually when you get cutscenes. Outside of that, it's like most of it, like, you hear it from people yourself, or you read it, or you figure it out by looking at, here's a dead dragon, here's a castle. My guess is they cooked the dragon fell and destroyed the fucking, like, oh shit, you know, I didn't need a cutscene to tell me that shit. And you feel good because you fucking, it's a unique experience, you know, the world building, you know, the setting itself tells you the story, you know? And that's, I feel like video games need to lean more a lot that. They take the Souls and Street Fighter approach, where the game itself tells you the story. No one feeds it to you. You know, that's something that movies they can't do that. They just can't afford to do that. They because you'll just be lost. You know, I guess the only thing I wanted to add to is I guess everyone talking about the whole Twitch ban thing, and it's getting more crazy, and it's crazy. Yeah, can you believe they're trying to ban? Oh yeah, you already talked about Elon's suing Twitch, but it's crazy. Everyone doesn't want to put the fingers on Hassan's part of it. I'm gonna say though, but I think the bigger thing is the dumb, stupid bitch that was getting mad at Asmon and say, "Oh, we need to go Allahu Akbar him." It's like, wow, the irony of an Allahu Akbarian saying to Allahu Akbar someone, you know, like I think that's what it was more. Why the ad apocalypse? It wasn't even Hassan was could be the start. they had eyes on, but yet other people, Twitch is saying, wait, you're banning a dude because he's saying something base like Asbon, but you won't ban this stupid fucking as bitch for saying out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, bro. Like it is racist. Like I'm sorry, I can't stress enough. Most of the world does not like the Middle East, and the fact that you guys are gonna side with a Middle Eastern Alu Akbarian, literally saying, "Oh, I'm gonna suicide bomb," I'm like, wow, way to fit the stereotype, stupid bitch. Yeah, no, that's it's really what it is. Because Fox just News just dropped a nuke. I don't know what Fox News. This just dropped in.
Oh boy.
Yeah, cheerleading for terrorism. Twitch star called for 9/11 dismissed horror October. Oh, whatever, some bullshit. But yeah, that's just that.
Nah, man. In all honesty, that whole Twitch situation is all tied to fucked.
Ah.
I really hope that entire fucking thing gets shut down because we need something more. We need something that isn't as biased. Because I feel like a lot of the people who ended up getting on top, like I feel like people like Kai Sanat or Queso, like they actually got there because people actually appreciate them, like they have fans.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many other people that I would put onto that list that they have genuine fans. But there's certain people that have gotten up there, and I feel like they shouldn't even be allowed, let alone
Oh,
like even
100%.
have a platform whatsoever.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
Like I said
I
earlier,
already told you I've had gripes with fucking Hassan, with XQC, with fucking who else? Like a lot of the streamers that
they're lazy
kind
content
of
creators for
up
sure.
and up, yeah, there's a lot of lazy motherfuckers. Like Sniper Wolf, you're 100% a lazy bitch, and I'm
And a
glad that
piece
no
of
one even
shit.
talks about you anymore.
Yeah, no, like I
But
said, the
yeah,
wrong people are famous, man. And to me, like I said, it's just so annoying seeing people. Like I said, same with the Mike Tyson. It's like, dude, that's why. Like, let's eventually I'll be in a debate with us, and even I will be at a point. It's like, dude, the fact that anyone's watching this is stupid. Like, first of all, like, okay, me and him are probably the most qualified to talk politics ever. You guys shouldn't watch anything outside of me and Hassan. If you guys watch anything else, it's stupid. I mean, like, I'll have Hassan even agree with me. He's like, Hassan. You want to know why Hassan's the best? Because the mainstream news media just suck dick. Like they suck dick. That's why. Like, want to know why I'm the best dev? Because everybody else sucks dick. But here's the thing. I shouldn't have to be a developer. Hassan shouldn't have to tell you here about politics. Like we're mediocre as fuck. Why the fuck are you here, guys, watching us, bro? Like we're legit. Like why are you here? Like we're not politicians. Instead of spending this time, whatever, why don't you go actually vote? Go learn about the people who try to be like, that's my whole thing. Like it's not even just for politics. I'm thinking gaming. Like why are you sitting here playing COD? Why don't you go out and try to find an indie game that is doing what COD does but better? There are like that's like again. Why are you watching a stupid fight with Mike Tyson? And this jackass, go watch the Filipino versus the Mexican. You know that shit's gonna. You don't need to know the names. You just know they're gonna throw hands because they fucking love throwing hands, bro. Like the degradation of culture is crazy. That's like I said. The fact that like I said, I could see it being a debate. I'm like, so when I say it's like take our shit with a grain of salt, no, actually take it, bro. Like we're just here saying our opinions. That's it. Like don't take any of this to heart, bro. You're talking like bro. You're talking to a dude who a dude who kept pursuing politics and one who thought about it and then gave up. Like that's all we are. Like Hassan is just me, but level 100. I'm like level 20, and I don't care about getting past that. Right? It's the same thing. Imagine we're having a conversation about Street Fighter. Why the fuck are you guys watching me and Hassan? Hassan don't know shit about Street Fighter. I do. In that sense, it makes sense. But imagine if I didn't play Street Fighter. Then what the fuck are you doing here? Why are you watching two scrubs talk about Street Fighter? That's my problem is that no, you guys care more about someone being famous than actual experts. Like, why are you guys hearing opinions about fucking COVID and viruses from celebrities? That's retarded. Go watch actual scientists talk about how viruses work and shit. Why are you listening? That's my biggest problem. You guys will listen to famous people over experts. And then you guys seeing it too. That's why people don't like celebrities because they'll say stupid shit. And even you guys are like, whoa. Did you say toilet paper's cheap? Oh hell no, I can't.
That's because people would rather listen to the clowns than actually listen to people who are
You
worth a
literally.
damn.
Yeah, thank you.
Situations
Yeah,
like
just
that.
to make it short, appreciate. Thank you, because like it's just. But yeah, no, I feel like there's something nagging at the back of my head of like what else is and it's not even long.
Nah, I mean, if anything, we could just leave it at that. It'll be all right.
True, but I do like the topic you brought up with the whole classic thing because it's not nostalgia, bro. It really isn't. But oh yeah, no. I guess the last thing is you guys. I'm streaming this on YouTube right now as we speak. I'm going to the point where I'm contemplating where maybe I should just go over to YouTube to like get better monetization because like Twitch is they already cucked me and Twitch has not been good like at all for me. So I'm thinking if I should move over to YouTube. I mean, I don't know. What's your thoughts, chat? Mar, what's your thoughts?
Well, here's the thing with me. Like, even I've been thinking about like if I were to start making content, where would I actually put my stuff? As a content creator, there's two places that I would rather put it at because I genuinely don't think that Twitch is going to last too long anymore
Mhm.
because they're kind of going through their whole fucking phase. So I would either use Twitch or not Twitch. I would use YouTube or I would multi-stream and by not only using YouTube, I would also use Kick because let's be honest, you got to get rid of all the fucking negativity that's over there anyway.
Yeah,
And I
that
think it'd
Kick
be
has too
nice
much
to
of a
actually be a
bad stigma.
genuine positive person to even be there. But another one I was also looking at because I started noticing a lot more people doing it is X, the fucking Twitter.
Oh shit. Oddly,
Like I
TikTok's
started
really good
noticing
for
a lot more
streaming,
people
which is
jumping on it.
weird.
Like, yeah, we're finally moving from the era of like Twitch is the end all be all when it comes to streaming,
Thank
and
God.
now a lot of people are like trying out different things to sort of like see where everything's gonna go. Because it's like right now you can make the excuse like, oh, why would I want to go to a place that's like, hella racist? Like, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna fucking
and
grow there that
the
much.
other thing is to me, and I'm thinking of is that I'm talking because obviously I still make content on YouTube, right? That's never gonna change. But it's more so moving over to streaming because the thing is, streaming on YouTube sucks. But I'm like, you know what? Again, if I do better than it is what it is, I'll take the shittier platformer for streaming, right? I mean, heck, the VTubers do fine, so I guess I'll do fine too. But also, it's a good video. You guys just stuck at mid level. The way we learn games makes us bad at them. That is true. Someone who's been teaching, like, yeah, it's a bad fumble. But again, I think it's a problem with the game, not teacher. But that's a different conversation, guys. It's an interesting video that they have here. But I was even saying this mini update again. Holy shit, dude! It's like every second we stop, something comes up. Oh, I forgot to say, yeah, Stalker 2 basically just came out, and I was gonna play it, but it's not on Game Pass. I was like, fuck! I'm very excited for that.
Wait, it's not on Game Pass? I could have sworn it was on
Right,
Game
me
Pass.
too, me too. But yeah, that was the update I wanted to give. Is that Stalker 2 is out? I was like, ooh, yeah. I was gonna add.
Another little mini update, and it has nothing to do with any of the games we were talking about.
That's fine. It's
But
update.
I just found out that the voice actor for Sephiroth, the Japanese voice actor, is also going to be doing the Japanese voice dub for the Sonic 3 movie that's coming out.
That's
He's going to be
funny.
playing Shadow the Hedgehog.
Funny. That's funny. Interesting. Yeah.
Now,
No.
to be fair, he's done a lot of other voices
Of
too. Like
course.
he hasn't just done Sephiroth, which I find very interesting. But like other characters he's done, I believe, if I recall, he played. What was it? I'm trying to remember it. It was probably I think it was Ryu from Street Fighter Alpha.
Yeah, it sounds like something he would do.
And I also believe he played Dante for Devil May Cry, so that's another plus. Oh, and if that's true, then that means he also played Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, fucking Leon
Leon
Kennedy
Kennedy,
in
you said Leon.
Resident Evil. Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
I was
Japanese
thinking
voice
about the
actors
other
speak
one.
something.
That's actually a pretty neat gig to actually voice the character Shadow and shit.
Yeah, no.
Like oh yeah, I'm the opposite coin of Keanu Reeves. Yeah, I literally played that voice.
Yeah, no. Like I said, you guys go check out It's Alex or It's a Gundam, all the other thing to talk about. Of course, our boy. Now I remember. If anything, I want your last thoughts on what I said. Remember the bad game design isn't real, and then what FGC opinion will you defend?
Okay,
Because I got
like
more coming up for
you
those
you
guys.
know it's funny because I did mention a couple really bad games early on.
Yeah.
If you really think that bad game design doesn't exist, then how the fuck do you explain games like Concord? Like the reason why no one likes that game is because it's boring, and like if your game is boring, then that means it's a bad design. Because what makes a game that has all of this supposedly like, oh, it's just the most integral, most beast shooter you've ever played, and it's so immersive. Okay, what
And
makes it
it's dead.
immersive? The fact that I pressed the start button and now things are happening, I have no fucking idea what's going on.
Get
And
off.
then when I'm finally in the game, I'm just walking around, wandering, looking at these places. Like, there's no nuance to any of the maps.
Yep.
There's nothing really cool about the weapons that you're
The
using.
graphics are
Like, oh,
weak, especially for a
like,
PS5 game.
like nothing's appealing about the game. And then on top of that, it's like the way how they try to appeal to people was kind of retarded.
Yeah.
Like you got to have a reason to play the game, and other than like, oh yeah, we spent the most money on this game production wise because we want this game to be like our Star Wars, and like, what the
Oh
fuck does that
hell.
even mean? Like
Right.
the Star Wars of now, because in that case, then you literally told us you want this game to bomb.
Yeah.
Like,
See, dude, this is the problem. Like I said before, same thing with the stupid Smashers. Oh, Lord Your God has been banned again. Update.
oh,
But
that's not an update. I thought he's been banned. What the hell?
no, he always gets back. Oh my God, isn't meaning this.
For as far as I know, that man's banned off the Maury show too. So. Man, I swear, man. LTG one day he's gonna actually turn over a new leaf and actually be a genuine person. But right now, I feel like he's so immersed into the character that he's created that he kind of has to stay where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how a lot of people expect like fucking Steve-O to do the same shit over and over. Oh, Steve-O, do another crazy ass trick, and he's like, nah, guys, I'm sober now. Like I've been a lot better. Like I'm running businesses, I'm doing podcasts. Like I'm having a better life. No, thing again. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, with that all being said, man, I guess we'll do our closing notes and call it a day, and then we can just yell at Violet and Honorable for not being here.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what? There's a cheapy. Oh, that's not even. We'll post that later. But yeah, no. And then we got the Neckguard cosplay. She's just out here vibing, doing something. Yeah, because I'm just looking at text to see if there's any last things. But yeah, no, that's pretty much all of it. And again, she got banned. And go check out my latest controversy videos. I mean, hopefully you've been enjoying those, Amar. Especially me cooking the shit out of.
Oh man, I've been enjoying the show.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, I'm sorry. He pissed
I
me
can't
off
even
so
believe.
bad, bro. That's such a stupid ass thing to say, bro.
I was just about to say, I can't even believe he pissed you off that badly. Like, you already know, man. It's the internet, man. People are so full of shit on the internet. It's ridiculous.
Yo, you could tell I was pissed. I think didn't we put? I was like, we'll do it for later. It says, what are the worst game design? Oh, yeah, bad game design. Yeah, bad. Yeah. So we'll do that later. We need honorable and bot for that. Whatever. Anything, and you see something like design, I just the game like, okay, what's objectively like? You saw, I'm always gonna say Mega Man X6 because they are, dude. The fact that you can die from shit you can't even see, like, no, that's bad game design, bro.
Hey,
Like,
brother.
imagine dying from some shit you ain't see.
Fair warning, I'm gonna turn on the lights.
Okay, go for it. But yeah, no, that's all I got. We'll
Look,
finish that one next
Happy
time.
birthday.
It's my birthday. Oh, funny. Sorry about that, sister. Get me a present, I guess. I don't know. A PlayStation blanket. Wait, did you? Update. I got a PlayStation blanket. All right.